Hey, welcome back, everybody. Of course, you know me. My name is Dr. Keith McNally. It's always good to be here. This is Coach's Corner. And guess who I've got here? Now, you may have seen him. Well, you see him everywhere because he's just about everywhere. And he even has his own radio show. But we'll get to that in just a bit. This is Steve Gamlin. Steve, welcome to Coach's Corner. How are you doing?
Doing great, Dr. Keith. Great to be here.
So I wanted to bring you back because you're doing some really good work with something called a vision board. Now, I've been seeing vision board ideas more and more on LinkedIn, but I don't know really what they are or how they work. So you're going to give me all that insight. Please, please give me some of that insight. What's a vision board?
What I consider a vision board to be is a lot different from the way a lot of other people treat them. They get regarded and treated in such a way that many people think they're just arts and crafts projects. For me, I go into a depth that most people aren't even aware of in their own lives. And I refer to them, the very quick bumper sticker phrase is, it's a wall-mounted GPS for the destinations you want to travel to for the rest of your life.
Wow.
That's how I define vision boards.
Well, so what? A destination in my life, like a geographic, or what do I want to achieve? Let's clarify that because knowing me, I've got lots of things I want to accomplish.
Mhm.
How would that work?
Your goals, hopes, dreams, desired outcomes. And one thing I caution people on, because when people say vision boards, they go, oh, I made one once. Lamborghini, yacht, mansion, private jet, helicopter, bank vault full of gold bars and money, and big
Those are
honking
the best
jewelry.
vision boards,
Oh, it's the
but they're
vision
so
board.
vague, they're not going to work.
It's the vision board starter kit. And it's
Wow.
it's the trappings that so many of us are shown by all these influencers or successful people, where that's how they define success. And God love them if that works for them. But for me, what I do is get right down in the mud with my clients and my audience and say, look, you've got 8 major areas of your life. You've got your physical health, your emotional well being. What a great thing to set for a goal, to be happier. Your relationships, your core values and ethics that guide your thoughts, words, and actions. Your faith and spirituality, if that's an important part of your life that guides you from a different direction and how you want to be and who you want to be. Your connection to the world in a real way, your career, job, whatever you do for work, and your money. I encourage people start off nice and simple, a 1 year goal in each one of those categories. And if it feels overwhelming, little inside tip, all 8 of those areas of your life are working together 24/7 already. So wouldn't it be a good idea to have some say, not just what you want to achieve, but the person you want to become in the process?
So to be honest, that sounds like a lot of work.
Mhm.
And and it really probably needs to be a lot of work. So how does that conversation get started with somebody? Or how do you start the conversation like in a coaching session or in a workshop?
The first question I ask people, and now I've got a background in radio. I was also a stand-up comedian. I've been a speaker for 18 plus years, and I use a lot of humor. I'll ask people, what do you ghosts look like, feel like, sound like, smell like, taste like?
Hmm.
And the, what?
What does my
That's
gold
well,
taste like?
that's where we're gonna go
Wow.
with this because I
Chocolate
encourage
cake.
people. It's one thing to say, I want this. Okay. First off, why do you want it? And second, let's get into the detail. Let's connect it emotionally with all your senses. Let's wrap ourselves around this goal and dive deep into the experience of getting there and also having it. And that's
Hmm.
where all of those senses come in, makes it more real. And it's almost like you're attaching every finger to it and not just like a kite on a little piece of string going which way the wind blows.
Now, you've shared your personal story with me on the Question Guy podcast, and you've probably shared your story 1,000 times at this point since you've talked with me over a year ago, and people know you, people know your backstory. Um, did your idea of the vision board, was it birthed from the crap that you went through, or how did you become this vision board expert?
It started off at the big crash and burn. There have been several when I was 35 years old. I had quit my radio career. My first marriage fell apart, and I was financially just in tens of thousands of dollars of debt because I wasn't paying attention.
Mhm.
And I'd started working with a brand new life coach. And he asked the question that changed my life in a tiny way.
Mm.
Have you ever heard of The Secret which was already out in book form, had just come out at that time, early 2000s, on DVD. And I went and got it. It's about 98 minutes long. Talked about law of attraction, some stuff I really resonated with, other things not so much.
Mm.
But there was this 3-minute segment, 2/3 of the way through, where some guy named John Assaraf was talking about these things called vision boards. He didn't say how to make them. He just said having your goals in pictures
Ooh.
was a really great way to plant the seed a little bit deeper. And I took that little concept, didn't look up anyone else's programs of how to create them. I just started to learn on my own. Try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, try. Ooh, a little success. Grab my toes around that and keep nudging myself up the mountain, and just learned as I went what worked for me. And now that's what I share with other people.
And that's what I'm really learning about these conversations that I'm having on Coach's Corner, because people are now making impact not just in their own lives, on other people's lives because of the transformation in their own lives. And so you are one of those stories that you've gone through it, you were looking for something, and you became what you needed. What you needed from somebody else, you became. How does the vision board work for you? I'm really curious, like,
Mhm.
because you had to redesign those 8 facets of your own life in order for you to really help others do the same.
Yeah, I took a lot of notes along the way. I've been journaling for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And throughout the 2000s, right from referring to myself daily in my journal as Hurricane Knucklehead Category 5, you're a moron, to then starting to put my life back together. I was my self-talk in the early 2000s was
I
not
remember
good.
that conversation.
And I just started to have these little wins, and all of a sudden realized it wasn't just about material things. It was all these other parts of my life. And as I journaled and as I started to see these little results poking through the soil, thinking, wow, if I do this, if I improve my physical health, it also improves my emotions.
Hmm.
When I do everything with in alliance with my core values, the wins are even better because I never have to worry about how I did something. And all of a sudden I started to realize this wheel is almost like a heart beating. And if I put everything I have into each of the categories in a positive way, and it sounds woo-woo to some people, but I say I do blue collar woo. Simple phrases, simple stories, simple actions, get the results, analyze what works, grab it, put it in your pocket, and keep doing that.
Hmm.
And what I did was over the course of the first decade of the 2000s, I started to take all these notes of what was working, started to see it, teach it from the stage. And then people said, Steve, we can't hire you to come in. We're just two of us in this business. It'd be great if you had a program that could walk us through all the steps. And I went back through all my notes from the toughest days to what was working. And I created 10 audio modules that altogether last 74 minutes and 52 seconds because I'm not going to create a 20 DVD set
Right.
for anybody. Quick to the point, take you by the hand, walk you through everything I went through. You do it at your own pace. But the initial program is just under an hour and 15 minutes. Everything I have to share.
Earlier in this conversation, you said that pictures were what you needed to paint. So it's the picture that really resonates with us. And there are so many cliches and metaphors. A picture paints 1,000 words or says 1,000 words. So now I'm curious, what pictures resonated with you in order to help you make your transformation happen?
I looked at each of those areas of my life and I thought, okay, when I achieve this goal for this part of my life, what would that look like or what could represent it? Now, some are end goal pictures and some are the means to get there.
Okay.
Some are the why. I have a picture of me and my wife, Tina, at the center of every vision board I've made for the past 16 years. My why is physical health because I want to be, as we age, we're in our mid 50s now, I want to be healthy enough to be able to take care of her should she need help.
Mhm.
So I've got a weight goal, a fitness goal. I've got the number 210, which is my goal for my bathroom scale, on the air conditioning ductwork in my basement above my workbench. It's also on my vision board. So all of these things, it can be pictures, it can be phrases, quotes, hashtags. It could be a scratch and sniff of something. If there's a scent that is pleasing to me, I want to hit all my senses. I've got 2 candles in my recording studio that make me smile. And when I'm on frustrated days, pop the lid, marinate on that for a second, and go. So I'm designing the picture of the best version of myself and also equipping myself for the journey along the way, and create tracking systems to be able to track my progress and not get that close. What's the old phrase? 3 feet from gold, and quitting.
Hmm.
So it's all of these things together. Sounds overwhelming, but the way I explain it, my clients seem to be able to grasp it and actually enjoy it.
Well, I think blue collar woo woo is the best way to go because the practical applications of seeing something, smelling something, being able to touch something, and then really experiencing transformation and change is really what keeps people motivated and aligned with the process. Because without real results, what's the point of moving forward? And so you are a witness to that. When you are working with people, how are you helping them stay motivated even when progress seems very, very slow or non-existent at all? Because that's really crucial to kind of getting that transformation, getting that kick, getting them started.
Especially at the beginning, I will make time several days a week to just go check out the social media accounts of my coaching clients and just see what their mood is, what their vibe is. And if I see one that triggers me to say I really should reach out to this person, I won't like it or I won't comment on it, but I'll just happen to come down here to the studio, pop on the microphone or the camera and say, "Hey, name of client Steve here. Hey, I just happened to be down in the studio and I wanted to reach out to see how you're doing. Let me know if you need an encouraging word or a quick call." And
Wow.
every single time they reach out, "How
Well,
did you
who
know I needed
wouldn't
that
reach
today?"
out if you're literally
Right.
speaking to them?
But it's so
Oh
funny
my
because it
goodness.
blows their mind. Like, how did you know I needed that? I just had a feeling, which I kind of do because I'm
Yeah.
borderline empath anyway. Um, and I've been told that by empaths. I just reach out, and the best conversations come out of that. Sometimes people say, "Well, I didn't want to call and bother you." You know what bothers me? If you need a hand and you don't reach out.
Right.
That bothers me because you may just be a little tiny step from turning your whole week around, but yet you're going to veer off the path because you're afraid to reach out or you feel as though you failed,
Hmm.
which you haven't. If you're still in the game, you have not lost. Let's get you back running down the base path at a better speed.
So whoever's listening, whoever's watching this conversation, give them something empowering today, right now. And they may not even contact you, but something that's going to change their life today so that they don't have to live in that, for lack of a better word, or even whatever word, the crap that they're currently living in. Because we don't like to live in crap, but there's only two ways of change. And these are the conversations that I'm having. You can medicate it and make that all that stuff numb away, go away, or you can make real actual changes in your life, which is what you're helping people do.
Yeah. I'll go back to my canine co-author, Super Teddy Maximus, who was a rescued Yorkie Pomeranian that we had for 11 years. And this is more of a mindset than an actual set the goal. And Super Teddy's quote number 2 from his book was, "Wake up every day and wag yourself happy." Meaning, choose the attitude that's going to help you to see the light, not the darkness. Choose the attitude that's going to help you to react and respond to the world around you in a positive way. That alone, right there, is one of the first things that I work on with my clients, to believe in themselves, to believe that they have the power to create whatever they want. It all starts with that. So if you have to put some good food in your mouth in the morning instead of garbage, if you have to not watch the news but listen to music, if your faith is important to you, read a page or two from whatever your good book might be. If you like to laugh, do what I do. Go on YouTube and watch funny comedian videos or bloopers or something. But wake up every day and wag yourself happy. Put yourself in a good spot. And at the end of every day, write down your favorite moment or moments from the day in a gratitude journal. So you are now bookending your entire day. Positive here, positive here. Start again the next day.
I know I can find you on LinkedIn. And that's where I find you most, because that's where I'm at. Where can people find you and how can people connect with you? Because I want that information
Mhm.
in the description of the video.
Yeah, pretty much all the major social media platforms and also my website at Steve Gamlin. That's GAMLIN.com.
Steve, thank you so much for this conversation. And for those of you who are watching, listening, of course, this is another edition of Coach's Corner. And we'll see you next time. Take care.